Liver pate or liver parfait? I mean, what is exactly the difference? It's a question I got asked many times in my cooking school. Liver pate, I mean, that's yum and it's highly addictive. Liver parfait, it's really mysterious, has a really fancy name. So let's explore them both, and there will be a winner by the end when we taste it. But I can tell you already now that you are a winner too, because by the end of this video, you know all there's to know about making liver parfait and liver pate. So let's go off and cook them. For liver pate, I used some chicken livers. And you can see some are darker and some are lighter in color. Did you ever wonder why? It's because the lighter ones contain more fat. Just think about how light foie gras is. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. So I got the pan and I added some butter. When it was hot, I added the livers and browned them for approximately 2 minutes on each side for some extra flavor. I seasoned them with salt and pepper, but I needed to make sure I don't cook them too much. Otherwise, that could affect my pate in a very unpleasant way. And I'll tell you why in a second. So I stopped the cooking and placed a lid onto the pan. I rested them for approximately 10 minutes, and that gave me plenty of time to cook my shallots. Got the pan and in got more butter, and I cooked them till they were all golden brown. But I also needed to balance out the sweetness and the acidity in the liver, so I added some port wine and some vinegar and a little bit of cognac just for extra flavor. I cooked it all down to a syrup. That smelled so good, and it tasted even better. By that time, the livers were ready. I needed them medium well so that the proteins did stay soft. I don't know if you know, but when cooking livers all the way through, the liver's proteins coagulate and they get trapped inside their own cells. That's why well done cooked liver always comes across a bit grainy, sandy and gritty. So don't overcook these proteins, otherwise your pate ends up like sandpaper. But you also need to make sure that there are no raw spots, as this is not only dangerous, but it could also spoil your pate. I wish you'd be here because they taste so good. I was very happy with that, and I added the shallots to it and a little bit of butter. Now I knew this is going to be a fantastic day. A little bit of butter here, a little bit of butter there. And yes, there's much more to come where that stash came from. And so is the recipe in the link below. Then I blended it and made sure that all is very warm so it emulsified and did not harden. And also whipped some air in it to make the pate much lighter. But as you may have noticed, I did not remove any veins, I did not remove any connective tissues of my livers, because it's so much easier to do that now by passing it through a sieve, and that got rid of any of the hardened proteins. Next I placed it into some molds which are lined with some glad wrap, because today I want to make individual serves. And this way, they're easier to get out later on. I chilled it and then I brushed it with a thin layer of very soft butter, and it was all ready to be served. Now, you agree that was easy, but liver pate needs something else. So I went off and I got some red onions and browned them in a little bit of butter. So yes, Scott, if you're watching, I do it your way. I added some port wine and some red wine, and I simmered it down to syrup slowly so that the onions had plenty of time to soften. This gave me plenty of time to make a second garnish. I took some toasted breadcrumbs and some parsley and I blended it till the bread has turned all green. Now this looked fantastic, as you will see in a minute when we plate it, but before we do that, I had to make my liver parfait. It's a Marco Pierre White recipe. I was a head chef of his for 4 years. I think it's actually simpler than a pate, but will it be better? Well, in a minute we know. So I got some chicken livers, but to make it much more refined, I also added some foie gras. Now you can just do chicken livers in case you don't agree with foie gras. The shallots this time, I boiled them with some garlic and some thyme. I added some port wine and some Madeira, and let's not forget our cognac. So you see, it's already so much simpler. Simmer it down to syrup slowly, of course, to give the shallots plenty of time to soften. I removed the thyme, I placed it into a blender with the livers and the foie gras, and here comes the main difference to pate: eggs. I added them now too. I told you it is gonna be a fantastic day. So, a delicious day. Look at all that butter. Just the right amount of it, but semi-melted, so it's warm like all the other ingredients, so that they liquefy and don't solidify during blending. Salt and pepper went in, and if you want a much better color, you use half Saldo Rosé. Recipe is in the link below. And if you want to learn more about cooking, join me in my upcoming live cooking course. You would love that too. Now, Parfait, unlike pate, you cook after blending. So I fill it into some molds. I line them again with glad wrap or cling film, because that's the easiest way to get them out of those molds later. So I placed it into a warm water bath at 130 degrees and cooked it till it was all set, all the way through, and that takes approximately 20 to 30 minutes. I removed it from the oven and I chilled it in the fridge for 5 to 6 hours, so that gave me plenty of time to cook my port wine jelly. For this, I got some triple consommé and port wine and cooked it all together. Now, I'm sorry, but this is a video in itself, and since you don't want to listen to me all day, I will make a separate video about that soon. But I had to get the jelly onto the parfait, like you see here, and around the parfait. So I remelted some, and some I chopped on a tea towel so that the jelly didn't jump everywhere. The one I chopped, I filled in the piping bag. The rest I melted to sort of a chilled room temperature. I took the parfait out of the mold, I set it on a rack, I glazed it once and again and again and again, till it was basically nicely coated, and then it was time to plate the liver pate and the liver parfait, so we can taste it and find out which one is the winner. Cooked first the pate, and then we cooked the parfait. So I think you should start with the pate.
They're different. You said that's a parfait.
Yeah, well, yes, that's the idea, to taste two different things.
That's a pate and that's a parfait.
Yes.
So for people like me, what's the difference between a pate and a parfait?
Well, I think I just explained that in the video.
Oh, sorry, I haven't seen the video, obviously. Duh. Okay. Okay.
It'll be a long day.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right.
So
mine's fine. It's very pretty.
Is it?
Yes. I like both. The look of both of those. I could not tell which is the better one this time by its presentation. Here goes.
Okay.
So the pate with beetroot. Is that?
Red wine onions.
Oh, sorry.
But again, you didn't. Your fairness, you didn't see that.
With a ton of butter, which is your signature, isn't it? Lots of butter. Before I'm at Walter, I never touched butter. Now I love it. Here we go. It's like a good old English pate that I used to grow up
You need
with,
to put those onions on it.
but much, much better quality. Yum. Right, with the onion on top, not the beetroot.
I like it.
Yeah, love it.
Okay.
Oh, I really like the onion.
Yeah.
That gives it a nice kick.
Let's get the approval.
Yeah, I approve. That was good. So far, so good.
You need to approve it something.
Yeah, so I feel like this is a disaster so far. Anyway, we'll continue because you cannot redo this.
Okay, now we taste the parfait.
Okay, fresh piece of bread, so you know I'm not cheating. Okay, the parfait. It's got a bit of a jelly coating on top,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Port wine jelly.
Ooh, ooh. And then I'm going to get a bit tiddly now.
No, it's alcohol is cooked down.
Oh, that's a pity. Well, it's very soft.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit softer than the other one. And what's this on the side here?
Port wine jelly.
Oh, that's so you said that. So the whole thing is port wine jelly around the side and around the top.
There,
Great.
yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh wow, that's something else. I like that one. And that's really good, but that one, softer.
Yeah.
It's got a sweetness infused through the pate. So that one, if you don't have the onion, it just tastes like pate and very savoury. And the onion gives it that added bit of sweetness, but that one's got it all the way through. That's my favourite. That was great, but I'm sorry, I hope I got that right.
Yeah, you did.
I did? Awesome.
You always get it right.
Oh, okay, that's good. I could be a professional taster. What do they call them? Dégustations in French?
I think so.
Yeah, definitely this one. That's really nice. You almost don't even need the port wine jelly around it because it's got the flavour through it. Let's just show everybody. Not that you can really see that much, but it's slightly lighter in colour and lighter in texture. So if you're having a beer, probably that one. If you're having a nice glass of wine, that one.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, that's it from me.
Okay.
I'm going to continue eating now.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit lightheaded because I haven't eaten yet today. I tend to ramble. Yeah, it's breakfast.
Okay, so hopefully you liked that video, guys. If you did, then watch my video on pig's trotters, which is another French classic, which you haven't tasted.
I'm not tasting that one. You can get somebody else to taste that one. Pig's trotters. Why pig's trotters? What's special about them?
Let's just move on.
Okay, fine. Next.
Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.
See you later, guys. Don't you swear on camera. Right, let's start. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to taste pate, or I am going to taste pate with Michelin star chef Walter Trupp and his assistant.